Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do some practical sessions. So what we'll do is we'll ask some brothers who we've not already asked. I have asked you, have I? Anything in the practical? No? Okay, fine. All right, so let's see. Why don't you come forward, young man? What's your name? Abdul Latif. Right. Okay. So Abdul Latif, were you here in the morning?
I came a bit late. Yeah.
Did you hear about the black box?
Yeah.
You were there for the black box.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So have a stand there. Imagine that Imagine I'm non-Muslim. I know it's hard to imagine, but imagine I'm non-Muslim. You're at a library exhibition. Okay. So you're here at the stall. There's some Islamic literature on there. So, okay. And I'll be, let me see, Matthew. Okay.
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, hi. Are you working here?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope they're paying you well. It's a bit cold.
It's fine.
Okay. That's fine.
Can you turn on the microphone?
It's on. Okay. So, okay. So what is it that you're doing
So
here?
basically, we're like spreading like the word of Islam, trying to like make people Islam in Islam, like we'll tell them about Islam and
Uh-huh.
they can make their own choice.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Very good. And what about like what about other religions? What do you think about other religions?
Well, like in my opinion, they're false, but like some people believe differently for like other reasons.
Yeah.
Like I can't like disprove them at the moment.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't like know much about other
Sure.
religions.
Okay. But why can't everyone just live however they want to live? Why can't everyone just follow their own religion? They do whatever they like.
Because they can't, and it's not my choice to make yours. I'm not making your choice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it all looks the same to me. I think all the religions are the same. They're all the same, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Do you believe like one God or like multiple gods?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I understand God.
Well, in Islam,
Yes.
we believe that there's one God.
Yeah.
His name's Allah.
Okay.
And like,
Allah, did you say?
yeah.
Allah. Okay, Allah. Right. Okay.
So, Allah, he made us all. So
Yes.
we can, like,
Yeah, I think there's like a higher power out there somewhere. Like a higher power. But I'm not sure that higher power is that interested in what's going on down here.
yeah, because that high power, when he created us,
Yes.
he created us so we'll have a purpose in this life.
Okay.
So if we're good in this life,
Yes.
we'll have a better afterlife.
Oh, so you believe in an afterlife, do you?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Time. Okay, well done. Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Okay, good. So brothers, he did some very nice things. So how about yourself? What do you think he did well? Here, do you want this? Sorry.
He was quite spontaneous with his answers.
Oh yeah, spontaneous. That's a good one. I like that. Okay. Sisters, do you have any comments? Yes.
He answered perfectly.
He answered carefully. Very good. Okay. Come on then. Right, young man, you tell me. How did you find it?
He was very calm and he didn't get angry with you.
Didn't get angry with me. That's nice to know. Yeah, go on.
He didn't tell too much about the religion, so the other person wouldn't get confused.
Didn't get too confused. Yes.
He accepted your questions.
Yep. And yeah, young man.
When he said he didn't know how to say about the other religions, so he just said, I don't know, I can't debate.
Very good. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
He answered perfectly.
When he asked them about other religions, were they all the same? He didn't say they're all wrong, but he said to him, we believe in God. And I think that opens the gate, like talking about what you believe in, than really making the others wrong. So you tell them, now this is our face, and God told us, this is it.
MashaAllah, very good. Matthew left some traps for him again when he was talking. And the trap was that, everyone is wrong, only we're right. But what he did was he sidestepped that slightly. There was one little bit, but he sidestepped it by saying, look, asking the guy a question. So this is a very important concept which he did, which is when someone's asking you one question, two question, three question, four question, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it just becomes a one-way street. And the person that's asking you the questions can force you to try onto their path or make you look bad. Yes? I'm not saying they do it deliberate, but they may have come to you with fixed ideas and they just want to ask you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So it's very important, and you did a very important thing there, which was you asked me back a question. Okay? So when you're doing da'wah, it's very important not just to say things, but to ask the other person questions. Sometimes these people have met other Muslims and they got nothing because the Muslim just, answered one question, then 10 questions, and then they left. Whereas what you did was you forced Matthew to think about whether they believe in God. Yes? And Matthew says yes. Then, Matthew was forced to give Matthew's opinion, which was that God isn't really interested in what's happening down here. God, some higher power, is up there somewhere and we're down here. God's not interested. But then you brought in the concept that, he made you and he gave you a purpose. And that's important in da'wah, because in da'wah there's lots of people who believe in God, but they don't believe anything more. They just say, yeah, there's a God. That's it. End of story. Yes.
I think once they ask you who or what God is,
yes,
then it's very important to engage them.
Yeah. Yes.
Because Tawheed is the most fundamental thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, early on what we said was you always have to bring the concept and the discussion onto Tawheed. So avoid talking about rules, avoid talking about peripheral issues. Always try and bring it back to Tawheed, always. Now, I would avoid the use of false. Yeah, I know you said the other religions, they're all false in your opinion. I would try and avoid that language, because the person may then think that Muslims are very narrow-minded people. They're not willing to listen to other people. They're not willing to engage with other people. And therefore, why should we listen to Muslims? Yeah. So generally try and avoid any negative language like you're false, your gods are false, your religions are false. We know they're false. Of course we believe that. But you don't have to throw it in their face, isn't it? Like, sometimes they may ask you a more difficult question. So for the more difficult question, we'll get you. Okay. Please. Okay. Yeah. So, mashallah. Yeah. So, all right. So, let's see. Who's it? Someone called. Kevin. All right. Yeah. Let's say Kevin. I'm running out of names now. Okay. So Kevin. Okay. So you're at a mosque open day. You've got, here some nice masjid, lovely masjid. So I'm Kevin, and I'm just walking around the mosque, looking around, wow, this looks nice carpet,
Hello, can I help you today?
Hi, yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mohammed. How are you doing
You
today?
can call me Kev if you want.
Hi, Kev.
Yeah,
How are you
right.
doing?
So I'm like thinking about this, I was just like, trying to work it out, you got like your religion, like my mum, she's like Catholic, and my dad don't believe in now, and
What about you?
I'm just confused, you know what I mean? Confused.
Did you try to look for anything? Did you did you read about Catholic? Did you read about Quran, about Islam?
Nah, man, it's all too complicated, I just don't get it. It's all this complicated God stuff, all this, those priests, all those priests doing bad stuff to kids and all that, I was like, yeah, what's all that about?
So let's think first. What do you think about the world? What do you think? Do you think there's a creator, or there's some big power?
I get up in the morning, get some coffee down me, go to work, come home.
What do you do for work?
Sleep, eat.
What do you do for work?
Friday, Saturday, get plastered, that type of stuff.
So first tell me what do you do for a living?
Me, I just working Greg's, innit?
Yeah.
I work in Greg's.
Yeah. I like the coffee in Greg's. It's nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So the thing is, you are too busy in doing a lot of things. But the thing is,
man. They don't give me enough holidays.
I know.
It's they make me work day and night, man.
And the pay scale.
It's rubbish.
I know.
Don't get enough money, money. I need some money. Yeah. You got any money on you?
I don't have now, but. I hope to help you.
In the mosque, don't they give money to people in the mosque?
So no, they don't. They try to give some advice.
Yeah, I had some tea and coffee. Don't you guys give money to people like me?
We can. Yeah, so we can get you but he's from Greg's. He should offer me a drink. And
okay, what I don't get is why can't you lot just get on, you lot. You Muslims and you Christians, why can't you just get on with each other?
We are getting all together because we have the same fundamentals of believing in one,
you all believe in God,
yes,
in it? God, in it? You all believing in God. Why can't you all just follow God and just love each other? Why can't we just love each other?
We love each other.
Why can't we do a big hug with each other?
Happy to have
just love.
So,
it's just love, innit? It's all about love.
It's true.
You just got to love everyone, innit?
Yeah, it's true.
And give me some money, innit?
I hope I can.
Time out.
Can you give me some coffee from Greg's?
Okay, fine. Okay, alhamdulillah. Right, okay, well done. Okay. Right, okay. So what we're saying is, that was a tricky one, yeah? That was a tricky one because there was a few things. One was the guy's personality, isn't it? His personality was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Yeah. And he's a bit over enthusiastic. He's a bit not really listening to what you were saying, isn't it? So that was a difficult one. And then the love one came out, innit? Why don't we all just love each other, isn't it? Why don't you guys get on? Isn't it? So it's a tricky one, that one, isn't it? What would you have said?
Well,
why don't you just love each other and get on with each other? What would you have said? It's tricky.
We all love each other.
Okay. So you would have agreed, yeah?
We all love each other because this is how you describe love.
All right. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Well done. Were you going to make a comment, brother? Yeah.
Kevin is the most popular character you're going to meet.
Yes.
And the most important thing would have been to ask Kevin to look in my eyes and just relax and think.
Yeah.
And ask Kevin how much does he know and what would he like to know.
Yes. Exactly. So Kevin eventually got there, didn't he? And mashallah, you did ask questions, which was very good. The problem was Kevin wasn't paying any attention, you know? Kevin was all over the place, you know? Kevin was like, Kevin even wanted some money, you know?
He tried the distraction.
Yes.
He tried the distraction part when he asked where you were.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, emotional people, you need to learn how to deal with these people, yeah? Kevin is very confused, doesn't know what's going on in his life, but still wants to keep talking, you know, non-stop. So as the brother said, what you've got to try and do is try and, you know, somehow get him out of this. He's in this confused mindset. All he's ever thinking about is, why doesn't everyone just get on? And then he's a bit selfish. Why don't people give me money? You know, all this stuff. And unfortunately, you are going to meet many people like this. It's very hard to engage. So here, the challenge here is not the argument, it's engaging with that person. So that person, when you engage, as the brother quite rightly said, you say, okay, Kevin, just look at me. And let's have a conversation, you know? What do you think? Kevin got there eventually, and Kevin said to you, why don't you just love each other, yeah? Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have this well-meaning attitude, and they're saying, yeah, if only everyone just loved, everything would be fine. But, you know, that's been tried. They tried this in the 60s, isn't it? You had this peace and love movement. Everyone hug, everyone love, the world will be great. And yet in the 60s, you had some of the most destructive Vietnam wars, all this. So what you say to Kevin there is, say, look, we love, we want everyone to be happy, we care, yes, but there are people in the world who don't think like that, yeah? There's people in the world who want to hurt other people, yeah? Let's keep it simple. They want to hurt other people. They want to steal from other people. They want to kill other people, yes? So we need a system that works, that stops them killing. Like you say to Kevin, all right, if there were no cops, don't you think you'd get stabbed or killed? You go, yeah, so we need the police, isn't it? So then you engage with Kevin and start dealing with the logic, yeah? And then, you know, the money thing, just ignore it. It's just, you're not gonna work with this, you know, with that. But the bottom line is, you know, let him say what he has to say, then you start getting him to talk about his logic, you know? And then you break it down. Yes. Sorry, yeah. Go on, what did you want to say? Yeah. Yeah, just ask. Yeah.
The next question we'll just ask her and her as well.
Okay.
They want to answer.
Do you want to answer some questions? Okay, yes. We'll do that.
Give them mic.
Okay, yeah. Right, have we got a mic? One of the sisters wants to answer. Yeah, let's, here, young lady. Right, you guys decide. Okay, so what we'll do, okay, so sometimes you've got to deal with these type of problems, yeah? Okay, so now, since we're doing with sisters, I will be Joanne, okay, Joanne. All right, Joanne. I know I don't look like a Joanne, but you can come here, okay. Yeah, I know I don't look like Joanne, but just try to imagine me as Joanne, okay? All right then. So imagine I'm your teacher, yeah? I'm your teacher in the school, okay? So I'm your teacher in the school. We're doing RE lesson, yes? The class is here. And then I will tell you, right, do you want to tell the class, all the children in the class, a little bit about your religion? Do you want to tell them? Yes. Okay. Go on.
Okay.
I know it's hard. Just do your best. All right then. What we'll do is we'll ask a different question then. Okay. So Joanne comes in, and I have to just get myself into the mindset. This is difficult for me. Okay. No.
What's wrong?
My mom died.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
You know, my mom, like, you know, she was like the only mom I had. My dad left me when he was young. Anyway, like, I want to know, my mom, she was like a bad person, and she's like dead. What, is she going to hell? Is she going to hell, my mom? So what do you think? Is she going to hell? Or is she like going to be spirit and stay with me? Like, is she going to be in my house when I'm asleep, my mom?
Okay, first of all, calm down.
Okay, go on. You answer.
From an Islamic point of view, and as humans, we are not in a position to dictate who can enter heaven or who can enter hell. So unfortunately, I can't give you a direct answer.
Well, whew, that's a relief, because my friend, her name is Farhana, she said that all non-Muslims going to hell, and my mom wasn't Muslim, so thank God you told me that. Whew, it's like a massive relief.
What about you? What do you believe in?
Oh, let me just lean. I think I'm going to faint now. Okay, so, all right, yeah. So anyway, I don't know what to believe. Like, you know, like my mom is like, she's like, you know, is she up there somewhere looking down on me? Or is she like down there somewhere, like, you know, getting burnt or something? I don't know. Like, what's happening to my mom? Tell me, what's happening to my mom?
Have you heard about Islam before?
No. It's just this woman, she told me my mom's going to hell.
Okay, so in Islam we believe that there's only one God. And there's a prophet, a messenger that was sent down to preach about the message.
All right, okay. So did your prophet say my mom's going to hell?
No, of course not.
All right, okay, that's good to know. Excellent, all right.
Do you believe all the strangers on the street that tell you anything?
No, I don't actually.
So why did you believe
But Farhana's like my friend. I'm not a friend anymore. I don't ever want to see Farhana ever again. She's not my friend. Don't like her. I like you now. You can be my Muslim friend. All right. So anyway, like, what's all this stuff? Like, you all got to wear this thing on your head. What's all that about?
This is just a covering as a
form of modesty. Like, you know, I want my Instagram page, and I want to show myself on there, innit? So why do I have to cover myself? I want to go on Instagram.
It's okay, that's your choice. You don't need to follow this. You're not Muslim.
Alright, yeah, okay.
And we wear this in Islam because Allah instructed us to.
Yeah, and what's all this business? You're not having a drink and all that? What's all that about?
Again, in our religion, Allah instructed us not to drink.
So it looks like this Islam's, there's no fun in there. Where's the fun?
So in Islam, we submit our will to our Creator.
Yeah, so there's no fun there, isn't it? You're not having any fun, are you?
That's your idea of fun.
So what's your fun then? Tell me.
Our idea of fun is waiting till the afterlife.
What? So I gotta die before I have any fun? What? I gotta go and join my mum before I have any fun?
Went terrible.
In Islam, of course, we can have fun, just not in the ways that you imagine.
Okay, so how do you have fun then? What do you do on a Friday and a Saturday night like?
You can still go out and meet with friends.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah. That's good. Do you have like a lot of friends? Do you have like a lot of friends then?
Sure.
Oh, can I make some new friends as well?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so Muslim friends, yeah. Can I make some Muslim friends?
Yeah.
See, I don't like Farhana. I don't want to be with Farhana anymore. So like, I'll be with you and your mates. Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right, time out. Well done. Okay. So, all right. So, so mashallah. Okay, why don't sisters give some feedback? You tell. So, what do you think? How do you think sister did? Go on. Come on.
She was a bit hesitant.
Yes. Tell me the good things she did. Tell me the good things. No, but she did some good things too. Yeah.
She just deviated her. She was trying to calm you down first.
Ah, good.
That was really
Good.
because she couldn't deal with the situation how it was like.
Yes. Because like Joanne was crying, isn't it? Yeah. And she showed sympathy at the start. Yeah.
And she tried her best to do the conversation just to the Islam.
Good. Excellent. Great. Right. Let's get some more. So, brothers, what other good things were said? Why don't you answer? That's your wife. You've got to be careful now. He has to be very careful. He's going to be in big trouble tonight. If he says the wrong words. Oh, no. All right. Sorry. I thought that was your wife. Okay. Whose wife is it? Is it no one? Is it your wife?
No, it's his daughter.
All right. Your daughter. Right. Then you have to be careful what you say. Don't be too harsh as her father. Yeah, go on.
I think she was patient in answering questions and trying to calm you down, as you mentioned. Engaging you into a conversation about Islam. Try to explain things.
Sure. If there was one thing she could have improved, what do you think it could have been?
I think it try to deal with the misconception more.
Okay.
I think you have misconception about Islam.
Exactly. So that's good. So there were some traps left for her. The trap that was left for her was what? Do you remember what the trap was? Yeah. Her mom, Farhana said her mom's going to hell. Right? Isn't it? Yeah. So
I think in this case, she could tell her that our Creator
yes.
is the most magnificent, most
merciful.
And he will never transgress against any of us. He
Yes.
all of us,
Yeah.
and he loves all of us.
Exactly. So he's not going to be unjust. So again, you've got to be very careful. You know, in an emotional state, when someone's emotional, they're not rational. Yes? Joanne was crying. I know it wasn't very good acting, but no tears, no real tears. But the point is, Joanne is very, very distraught. Her mom has died. Yes? Then to add problem, a Muslim turned around and said, your mom's going to hell. Right? So I think he did very well, actually. It was a very hard situation, very difficult situation. And most Muslims would have major challenge dealing with this situation, yeah? And you know, sometimes when you're doing, this is very rare, don't worry, this doesn't happen regularly. Very rarely, maybe once in a year, once in 3 years, someone will come to you like this. They'll be crying, they don't know what to do, they're now searching because their mom died, their dad died, their daughter died, yeah? They don't know what to do. So now they go to Christians, then they go to Muslims, they go to Hindu spiritual people, trying to get some answers. Yeah. So always try to work out what is the answers and what are the questions they have. Yes. So it's really important here to say to Joanne that firstly, you must be sympathetic, because we as Muslims should be caring, yeah? We're so sorry about your mother. We are very, very sad about your mother. This would be devastating for anyone to lose their mother, right? And sometimes don't even have the conversation on Islam initially. Take Joanne, take her for tea, take her for coffee, give her a nice hot drink, you know? Sit Joanne down, let her cry, and then, or if a guy's crying, let a guy cry. You guys take him for some drink, give him a big hug, yeah? Let him cry, and then after they've stopped crying, then answer the questions, yes? Wait until they calm down, then you deal with the discussion, yeah? Say, look, you know, you're obviously not feeling very well right now. Let's, you know, have some lunch. Let's have some dinner, you know. Let's sit down, have a cup of tea. You know, in England, the first thing is, any disaster happens, have a cup of tea, yeah? So have a cup of tea, and then when they're calmer, then you can have that discussion. And you quite rightly said, it's up to God to decide what happens to us. Even with us, it's up to God to decide what happens to us, yeah? So we're not in a position to pass judgment on other people. Our job is merely to give people the information so they can make an informed choice about what they want to do with the rest of their life and their akhirah, right? So then, you know, you can talk about it and say, look, you know, we want you to have a happy life. You're very sad. We think Islam can give you something that will make you happy inside and also give you a happy afterlife as well, you know. That's why we're here. The other thing you can talk about is suffering. Suffering. So let's deal with suffering. Brother, brother, why don't you come forward? Okay. Right, okay. So again, you're in the masjid and there's a person just walking around aimlessly. What name should we give this person?
Mark.
James.
Mark. Mark, let's...
Because you went through the Gospels.
Oh yeah, Mark, yeah. Well done. I'm glad you picked up on that. I was hoping someone would. Okay, so Mark's just walking around aimlessly, looking at the roof for no apparent reason.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Oh, hi. You all right there? How are you doing? It's a nice roof you got up here.
Yeah, how's things?
Yeah, okay. So does it leak ever? There's no pillars? I don't get it. How's that roof up there and there's no pillars?
I'm not an engineer, so I am.
All right. No worries. I was just amazed, that's all. Yeah.
No,
it's a nice mosque you got here.
Yeah, thank you very much. But no, we're here to try to teach you about Islam.
All right,
What would you like to know?
Well, you know what it is this. I just don't get this. You know, if there's a God, then, you know, why is there so much wars and suffering, people dying, people starving to death? You know, how could there be a God and allow all this bad stuff to happen?
Well, he's given us the guidebook, the Quran. Have you ever read it?
No.
Right, okay. It's mostly a couple of, percentage of the population of the world is usually there to pull the strings. But me and you are just ordinary people.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll try to understand about our religion.
All right, yeah.
We can talk about that.
Yeah. But what I don't understand is, like, if God's all like that powerful God, he controls everything, right? You guys believe he controls everything. Why is he letting, like, Muslims even die, like in Palestine?
Well,
what's going on there?
Well, he's given us choices.
Right.
And we are responsible for our choices.
Right.
And we make the decisions. And most of the time, let's be honest, we make not the right choices, and we're a bit more greedy. So we end up making money out of war.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
So you reckon it's like a money thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about those kids that are born handicapped? What about that?
Well, majority of the population is fine. This is only 5%.
Why is he letting 5% be born handicapped?
Well, sometimes things go wrong because it's not God's fault. It's just that the system works like that. It's not perfect all the time.
Okay.
You know,
it's like, you know, sometimes I think like, you know, why do I even have to get up in the morning and go to work? God, if you're there, you know, let me lie in and still get paid.
Well, this world is a test. And on this planet, right, we were in heaven and there was no worries.
Yeah.
So we've been put on planet Earth as a purpose to get back in heaven. So we have to work hard.
Sure. No, but why is he testing us?
So we can
I thought he like cared about us. Why is he putting us through all this test business?
He wants to know who are the good ones who deserve it. You don't get everything free. You have to work for it.
Yeah, but come on, you know, if God was there, he'd like give it me all free, wouldn't he?
Well, no, nothing is free. Nothing is free. You have to work for it. And I'll give you the Quran, right? And you can study it in your own time. And you can work out.
Why can't you just put all that Quran in my head anyway? Why do I have to read it?
Well, again, like I said to you, you have to put some effort in. Nothing is free. You can't get heaven free. You think it's going to be free. It was for our father Adam, and he blew it, didn't he? So we put back on planet Earth, and if we obey, like Adam did, and now Adam's gone back to heaven because he didn't do anything wrong on this. So most of his family, they've gone back to heaven except one because he killed his brother. So if we do bad things, we can't get back. So if we're good with people and we obey God.
But you've never seen heaven. How do you even know it exists?
Well, this information keeps coming from Adam, and God revealed his books. He sends messengers.
All right.
So when he sends a messenger,
so can you show me one of these guys? Can I go and talk to him?
No, the last one was our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that was 1,445 years ago.
Yeah. So now, how do I know what's right or wrong anymore?
The God's given us the Quran. We've got the Quran, and we believe in it.
All right.
And
fine. Could you give me a copy?
Yeah.
Then all right. Cheers. I'll have it then.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay. So it's not straightforward, isn't it? Yeah. So alhamdulillah, that's good. Right. Okay. Who was? You were paying attention. So tell me stuff he was doing well. Tell me stuff he was doing well.
Right. He was calm.
Yes.
So wasn't aggressive to you.
Mm-hmm.
You try to stress the same point of suffering.
Yes.
And he deals with it in a good way. The payment bit was a bit of answering the suffering. Overall,
yeah, mashallah, excellent, good. Sami?
Gesture, open.
Yeah. Open gesture, very good. Very important.
Eye contact.
Good. I'm glad you're picking up on body language. Excellent. So it was very good.
He answered perfectly. He definitely wasn't losing his temper. He wasn't really telling too much about the religion. So the other person wouldn't get confused. But he was giving a decent amount so the person could think about it in his own time, not only just think about it then deny the religion.
These guys are all paying attention.
His facial expressions didn't make him seem angry.
Exactly. So remember, eye contact, facial expression, body posture. These are first things you should think about. Now, mashallah, that was good. Again, there were some traps left behind, but alhamdulillah, you didn't fall into them. I think maybe you've had this conversation before. The impression I got was you might have either had this conversation or something similar in the past. Because you seemed quite good at it, mashallah.
I've been a taxi driver for 35 years. Every time in the town centre, Middlesbrough, some religious nutcase would come along.
Yes.
And they would say, go see Rashid.
Go see Rashid.
and because I knew more about Islam, they used to send it to me, and I had to deal with the Quran.
Mashallah. Excellent, well done. So you can see, if you have some experience, whether it's forced upon you or you volunteered to do it, it builds you up. And it's very important because I'm sure that initially when you asked these questions, you found them much more difficult. You didn't have as many answers, isn't it? And then as you get asked more and more questions, you become better and better at it. So well done, mashallah. The only, so feedback, in terms of feedback, what I'd say is, I agree with what everyone said. You're obviously familiar with the question. Now, you don't get something for free. That's a very good one, because any person, doesn't matter their level of education, will understand this concept. You don't get it for free, yeah? So that's good. The question about the suffering was, I think, yeah, so you didn't go too technical on it, which was good, because you said the wars can be caused by individuals who then want to make money out of wars, which was good, because that's a common thing that people agree upon, so that was very good. We talked about the handicapped children. I wouldn't say 5% are handicapped, maybe a lot less than that. So you can actually flip that on its head and say, well, 99.9% of all children have no handicap. Isn't that an amazing miracle, With the amount of pollution there is in the environment, isn't it? Now, the pollution is caused by us. And that pollution can then cause problems in children, isn't it, when they're born? So the Islamic kind of answer to it, which I think you gave, was basically a lot of the badness that happens on the earth is human-made. It's not God-made, it's human-made. But then what they were saying was, why doesn't God just let us all just go to heaven? Why can't I just sleep and then have all the money, So a very simple, easy answer to all of this is say, look, what you're describing is heaven. We're trying to get you to heaven. Here's the way, Yeah, exactly. So the other way to put it is, if they're educated, you can say, okay, before you got your degree, you had to pass a test. Before you got your driving license and you were allowed to drive, you had to pass your test. I'm a taxi driver. Before I could start making money for myself and my family, I had to pass a test. Everything that's valuable in this life, you have to pass a test for it. And that is just the way of things. Sometimes we don't understand all the reasons, but, why should people like Hitler and Mao go to heaven? Because that person's saying, why can't we all just, why can't everything be great? What you say is, well, you're describing heaven. Do you think these bad people should be enjoying heaven, who hurt other people? So that's the way to do it. So what you're doing essentially is using logic, to try to answer. Right, young man, come on then, you're next. Right. Well done. Okay. All right, okay. Okay. Fine. All right. Okay, so have a seat. Stand. So what are you? You're in school, isn't it? Yeah. And one of your teachers starts talking to you. Yeah. What's his teacher, non-Muslim teacher called? Paul. All right, Paul. Okay, Paul. So, Mr. Paul what? Wilkinson. Paul Wilkinson. Okay. So you're in school, and the RE lesson's finished. There's a break. So I just asked you to stay behind. Yeah? Okay. So, so listen, this, with Islam, right, we all learned that 1400 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came and he gave this message, right? But we're living in modern times now. That was in the desert, that was in Arabia. That was like, in the Dark Ages. So why are we having to follow this religion that's from the Dark Ages in the 22nd century? Sorry, I don't mean offense, but,
it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think Christians follow the Bible? The Bible is also old.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're right.
Yep, they are.
So then you're wrong too then, aren't you?
No, but we
Because you're following a religion that's 1400 years old.
Yeah, but if you compare...
It's only 600-year difference.
Yeah, but if you compare the book from 1400 years ago from today, it's all the same. Every single word.
Yeah, but it's still old. Why are we following this old thing? We got modern technology, we got space travel, we got computers. So why are we following this old thing called religion? We don't need any religion now, don't we? Do we?
Well, religion helps you set the straight path in your life.
Okay, how?
Well, for example, in the Quran it tells us when to pray, why to pray. And
yeah, but what if you don't want to pray? So what?
Then don't pray. It's
yeah.
you and God.
Okay. Well, then that doesn't sound like a religion to me. Well, you just do whatever you like.
Well, if you're committed to your and God's relationship,
yes.
then it is the religion.
Okay, fine. All right, but what about this thing? Okay, look, what I don't understand is this. Why don't you just modernize your religion, isn't it? Make it like 22nd century Islam. Why are you just doing those old things, those old, in the desert people were doing? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So why don't you just change it?
Good question.
Okay.
I really don't know, so
okay,
I have to come
fine. All right, we'll leave that bit. Okay then, what about this thing about like, why can't you just adapt it to modern times, you always seem a bit old-fashioned, you know what I mean? Like those guys, they're wearing those hats and they're wearing those clothes, why are they wearing those clothes for?
Well, if it was new, then it wouldn't be the same, like how they did it back then, trying to keep the tradition alive.
Tradition alive, okay, yeah. But like sometimes, like those women, like they're praying at the back and the men at the front. I mean, what's all that about? We need equality now. Can't the women just pray with the guys?
That's just culture, that's how it is. That's just how it is.
Okay, right. But so why don't you just change your culture then?
Don't know.
Don't know, okay. All right, now, the other question I had for you was this. Like, you're a Muslim lad, yeah? You got an iPad, you got your phone, you got all your modern technology, yeah? Why are you still following it? I mean, I don't understand. Why? Are you just doing it because your parents are Muslim?
No. Following what?
The Islam. Why are you following it? Are you just doing it because your parents told you to?
No.
So why are you following it then?
Because I want to follow it.
Why do you want to follow it?
Because it feels right.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And why does it feel right?
Because it just feels right.
No, why? What about it feels right to you?
Well, the kind nature of it, being kind to other people.
That's good, yeah.
Accepting other people's way, how they are, not forcing people to join.
That's good, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. What else? Like when you're praying, what do you get out of it? That's what I don't. Like those people, they're doing like that and then all that business. I don't understand what they're getting out of it. Like doing all this stuff. What's all that?
Well, that's to thank God for whatever He's done for us.
Okay.
And just thank Him, basically.
Oh, good. Well done. All right. So, mashallah. That was good. Right. Don't worry, we're going to give you a turn in a minute. Right. Anyone want to give feedback? How about yourself, brother? Tell me. You don't want to give feedback. Okay.
Yeah, if I've been asked actually this question, I'll tell him that I'm very glad you asked this question.
Yes.
I can answer this question in two ways.
Yes, go.
First, I know that you are non-religious and you probably don't believe even in existence of God. And in this way, I'll tell you, you're asking me about this book, which we followed since 1400 years, why we still follow it.
Yes.
It seems it's a misconception of you about the book. The book, like my granddad, bought a ship, manufactured a ship, and gave me a compass and told me, your home, you have to follow this direction to go your home. Okay, the compass at that, the ship at that time was very primitive.
Yes.
Not advanced one. And after 1400 years, I'm still following the same compass and the same directions, although I can change the chip and make it very advanced. So our book, which we follow, is the guidance prescribe the happiness in this life and hereafter for the human being.
Okay.
Still the guidance the same.
Okay.
It's not as you think.
Yes.
It's still, if you read it, you'll understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you read it,
Sure.
you will know that this book is suitable for all time.
Yes.
Make you happy all the time.
Yeah.
This is even if you don't believe in God.
Sure.
But another thing, if you believe in God, I tell you that the Lord of this universe who created us know the secret of happiness for us.
Yes.
We'll know it since 1 billion years, and still the same will know it till the end of this life.
Fine. Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Right, young man. Oh, actually, you wanted to. So what did he do well? Tell me.
So he wasn't sure about some of his answers. So that's something he didn't do too well at. But what he did do well at is
She's giving you advice. Yeah, go on.
how he tried to answer the questions, but then when he didn't know the answer, he said he didn't know.
Yes.
So he didn't give you
Good.
the wrong information.
Well done. Well done. Okay, how about yourself? This was a tricky one again.
I think he did overall really well with the answers that he was giving, because he was limited to his knowledge and understanding
Yes.
what he was trying to answer.
Yeah.
And then it was really short answers as well he was giving out.
Yes.
So he didn't want to overload the information he's giving.
Good. Right, how about you, young man? You're his friend. You can tell. Yes.
He did do quite well. When you confronted him about how all this was praying and stuff, and why I don't understand that, and he tried to explain the backstory of it, and he didn't try to confuse you even further.
Yes, exactly.
And he kept it simple.
Good. Yeah, so another, go on. Were you going to say something?
I had this question before a lot. So the way I handled it is when they're speaking about the Quran and about the 1400 years of. So what I said is we believe that there is God who created us. And like you're asking me about now the laptop and the computer and everything, everything has its manual. And for us, this book is the manual God made to lead us for a good life. The thing is, this manual does not conflict with modernization or the changes that happen, because it's here to last, and it's mainly with our practice or beliefs more than it's related to causes, tradition, all things.
Exactly.
The thing is, the question he was asked about other things like culture. It's not culture, and if we go to this part, it would be away from the main item that we're speaking about, which is belief.
Yes.
So we'll go to the rituals or the practice, and we'll lose the track.
Okay. Exactly. So, go on. Yeah, you say that every time. Okay. So, anyway, okay. So, essentially, what was the argument of the teacher? Paul was saying that we need to modernize the religion, yes? And he was saying that, why are you following this old thing, yeah? So, the way to answer that, I think a lot of you, mashallah, a lot of the brothers, and you should remember this for future, is that, Islam is timeless. There's no time in Islam. This is the same religion that came from Adam. It's the same religion that came through Nuh alayhi salam. And it's the same religion that's been there from that time until today, and maybe in 1,000 years, 10,000 years from now, it's the same religion. Why? Because our Creator gave us the instruction manual for happiness, okay? And part of that instruction manual is to believe in Him and all the other things. And then what you should do at that point is flip it back onto me. Whenever you find a slightly, this is getting a bit difficult, and whenever you find yourself, I know it's really hard to do because you're stressed, this guy keeps firing one question after another at you. What you've got to do is you have to fire a question back, yes? So you must early on throw a question back at them, because ultimately, this isn't about you justifying your religion. This is about you finding out what they believe and then giving them what they need, yes? So what you should do early is, they're starting to ask some slightly challenging questions, then you say, okay, what do you believe? What do you think? Yes? Now, he said, yeah, it's very old, you don't need this, blah, blah, blah. Well, another thing to bear in mind is, what we say today, tomorrow we might be saying something else. Yesterday we were saying something else. So even in this country, like homosexuality, other things were illegal, yes? But then, over time, it's now become legal, yes? And God forbid, maybe it'll even become obligatory at some point in the future, God forbid. But what I'm saying is, what was considered bad even 10, 15 years ago is now considered good, yes? And tomorrow, what was considered good today may be considered as bad. So what you say to them is, look, fashions come and go, fashions come and go, but our religion isn't a fashion. Yeah? Our religion is a guidance manual, yeah? So that's the way to answer the modernity question, yes? And the way to answer that is to say, look, what is it about modern times that you think is good? This is another good one. What do you think is so good about modern times? We have wars, people getting killed, yeah? Modernity, which is the modern era, brought in two of the most destructive world wars in human history, isn't it?
True.
Modern times, isn't it? Modern technology, modern everything. You got modern World War I with a machine gun, and then modern World War II with jets, and and nuclear, God forbid, yeah? So modern isn't always meaning good, yeah? So what you've got to challenge their assumption. So when they ask you a question, there's often an assumption. So another assumption on the suffering question is that God has to stop the suffering, isn't it? Oh, there's so much suffering, there can't be a God. So what's the assumption here? The assumption is, if there's a God, He will stop all the suffering. And Christians are in a very big problem over this. Because for them, the problem of evil has caused so much problem that many Christians have left Christianity. Because what Christians say is this: they say God is all love. He is all love and He's all powerful. Yeah? So then the question to them is, okay, if God is all love, meaning He doesn't want any suffering to happen, and He's all powerful, either He's not all love or He's not all powerful. He can't be both, isn't it? If God loves us so much, He sent His only Son to die for our sins, and He's all love, is all love, then why are people suffering, isn't it? So then you can't be right in both ways. He can't be all powerful and He can't be all love, right? Whereas we Muslims have never called Him all love. We never called Him that name. It's not one of His names. We say He is all just. There's justice. So if you're bad, you're going somewhere else. If you're good, you're going somewhere good. Yeah? So this is the point. Right?
Yeah, Sheikh, one of the most important things in the Quran, it says that Ibrahim ﷺ is the daddy of the prophets. And then Allah says he's not a Jew and he's not a Christian, he's a Muslim.
Exactly.
Then what we have to explain what the word Muslim means.
Exactly.
And to say that when you, with your free will,
yes,
willingly give up that will
yes,
to Allah,
yes,
and do His will,
exactly,
then you're Muslim. And that's what exactly Ibrahim
absolutely
did.
Absolutely.
And he sacrificed everything for him.
Absolutely. So a very important issue about Islam that you should, when you're doing da'wah, young man, a very important issue in Islam is to explain that Islam is a way of life, yeah? Not that it's a religion. So there's a difference. Religion is what they believe about Christianity. It's organized religion, yeah? So they say there's a priest, you only pray on a Sunday in a church, or if you're a Jew, you only go to the synagogue on a Saturday. If you're a Hindu, you only can go and pray in the temple, and you need the priest in the temple. We as Muslims, we can pray anywhere. We can pray on our own, we can pray with others, yeah? So it's important, when they say, oh, you know, the religion, why do you need to follow religion? Another answer you can give here is to say, Islam isn't a religion. Islam is actually a way of life. Yes? You have a way of life, you know, as a non-Muslim. So what's your way of life? Make money. Try and be happy. That's your way of life, isn't it? Your way of life is make money, be happy. Try and be as happy as you can, and then you die and finish, yeah? Our way of life is different. Why don't you find out more about our way of life? Because we're happy in this life. We're happy when we're old. We're happy when we're sick. We're happy when we got friends. We're happy when we don't have friends. We don't get as depressed as other people do. Why? Because our way of life makes us very happy. And we have hope to look forward to in the afterlife. So that's why you should always bring Islam in as a way of life, not as a religion, okay? Because they have a negative idea on religions, okay? So that's fine. So what we'll do is, if you want to have some tea or coffee, we can have a 5-minute break, and then we're going to go through proofs of Islam, inshallah ta'ala.